I'm Red Jackal, one of the devs on Vine Realms, making a very belated development video. Well, this is more of a playthrough kind of thing, where I'm just gonna kind of more so talk about the areas that I worked on, some of the other things in the game, mostly, and talk a little bit about some of the areas and stuff that other people worked on the game. But this is, so this game here was something that was made, it became its own thing. It's not, I don't think it's entirely attached to the charity stream, the Vinesauce's Hope charity stream, even though, you know, you saw the logo in the beginning. But this was kind of made to hype up the charity stream, and then people were playing it way after the charity stream. It kind of quieted down. Then the highlight video on the Vinesauce channel went up, and then people started playing again. But as you can see, hopefully I'm playing the right version. I actually haven't played the update that came out. I think it's the 1.0.1 update that we put out, with some extra stuff added to it, some fixes and all that. I'll go over that, but okay, why is this giving me, okay, apparently it's strange because I was actually able to join this. This is the update version, I'm pretty sure, so I was able to join that like just recently, but we'll go, I don't know why this is like not let me. Here, there's one way I can tell that I'm pretty sure this is the update version. Hopefully this did not fuck up by accidentally opening the older version of it. There was a thing, I know when, I think when we first put this game out for testing, that there was a patch that had to be applied to, like, so people could play the next update. I don't know if that's the case with this version. I'm so out of the loop. It's been a while. But, oh, it's taking a while to load. Oof. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me, there's one way I can check if this is the right version. I had two on my desktop. Anyways, I was going to, here, let me turn this up. I actually had to turn the volume down. This is not going to be a professional video, by the way, by no means. I had to turn the volume down because the title screen music is quite loud, and even some of the areas, I think we tried to turn down a lot of the area music for some of these. Not too low though, because you want to be able to hear the music. So, and it's a bit quiet. See, compared to the title screen, the actual area music is a bit quiet, so I could probably turn that up just a tad, but I don't want to make it too loud. I'll have to probably turn it up and down. There actually are settings here. I think? Yeah, we've got all the, this was all added in like the official release. Neri may have actually added more stuff with the newest update. Let me just double check here. I should be going, I'm not gonna go over everything. I know not everyone who worked on the game made like a dev video. Sphinx did a pretty extensive, he actually streamed the game and actually had Unity open and did a pretty thorough look at a lot of the areas that he worked on and some of the others that people worked on. So mine are, the areas that I worked on are a little not as easy to get to. Hopefully I can remember because it has been a very long time. But one of the areas, let's see, where is it? It's gonna be rough because I haven't played this in a while. I should actually have, do I have all the, okay, let's get some super speed. So these are the actions. I assume most of the people, if anyone's watching, probably has already played this and unlocked everything, so you know what to expect. There's supposed to be, where's that waterfall? There's other ways to get to, okay. So this is like kind of the, one of the ways to get to one of the areas I worked on, but this is like a corrupted arcade machine to get to Vapor Zone. You have to follow on just right. Nope, apparently I did not. I'm trying to think of how else to get to, okay. Swamp is one, let's see, Swamp. Yeah, it's gonna be a while because let's see, Swamp is one of the areas. There's some updates I made to Vapor Zone fixing some stuff, so. But this is one of the areas that Sphinx worked on, the swamp here. I just want to check. I'm gonna go over stuff in a minute, but I just want to check and make sure that this is the right version. It should be. Let's see, I know here's an easier way to actually. Let's see, there we go. So I can actually traverse this a lot quicker. There we go. Okay, now we can get the Vapor Zone. Let me turn this, just go to super speed. I might as well talk about this since I'm in here, checking to see if I'm on the right version. So this is actually one of the, first areas that I worked on, and, thing is, so I'm just doing a playthrough thing to kind of talk about stuff as I go through. Eventually, I kind of want to do a dev timeline video, which is going to require a lot of editing, writing, and stuff like that. To kind of go over the process of development, because I got pulled in, like, was it April? I think it was April when I first got pulled in, and that's when, I didn't even start, we didn't even start on levels in Unity. Like, I had no Unity experience or anything like that. It was, everything was pretty raw. So, the thing that I started on with Mono, it was me and Mono going over ideas for the world and the NPCs and stuff that we're working on. I'm sure there's like a lot of stuff I'm forgetting, but if I get around to do the dev timeline video, that'll be more thorough on the exact details of how we started the dev thing. Well, we actually got to the point of building the 3D worlds. It was basically like we were like given Unity, a version of Unity to work with, some tutorial videos, and Sphinx basically said, just, you know, he told a bunch of people, just play around with it, see how you do. See how comfortable you are with it, and if you feel like it's something you can work with, then maybe you could start working on levels. Well, I guess I started working just like to test around. I started just working on a Vapor Zone, like a vaporwave type thing, to see like how easy it was to put it together, just to kind of like fuck around with stuff. But I can show you when I actually get to the main area. I can show you how it started off. I'm gonna be very disorganized, so just bear with me when it comes to this. So I actually this isn't actually the first part of the Vapor Zone that I worked on. It was something that I added a little after I had the main area. But this was like, so I built the main area of the Vapor Zone, and then I was like, I kind of want to have like a starting up sequence in a way, like kind of like you're starting up a program or installing a program. I want like a starting area for people to go into, so you don't immediately see what the Vapor Zone looks like yet. You're sort of like, it's just sort of like a mysterious little area you end up in if you happen to find the Vapor Zone, like falling on the arcade machine in the main area, like the hub area of Vine Realms, or if you happen upon it in like the swamp where you end up, let's see, is that, okay, yeah. This, the pixel art, dolphin, which is a reference to, You Can Trust Me, I'm a Dolphin. I believe I didn't go to the, okay, if you go back to the swamp, please forgive me jumping around about all this stuff, but you should be able to talk to her. So this is a reference to, I think it was the Windows 93 stream that Vinny did, which had some vaporwave aesthetic, like in that OS. I think it's like it's a fake like OS thing that somebody made, but it had like this dolphin exe thing. This is You Can Trust Me, I'm a Dolphin. That's what this is a reference to. I had Chocobi, which does there's like a ton of people awesome people that worked on this project, but Chocobi did a lot of the the pixel art and like the icons. Let's see here, a lot of the like emotes, like helped out with some of the emote pixel art and stuff. Let's see, avatars. But let's back here. But yeah, I asked if he would help me make like a little. I mean, I could have done one too, but he wanted to help with a pixel art dolphin for this. That basically takes you. Kind of implies that when you talk to her, she's taking you to the vaporwave realm, and then you go to it. You happen to see her from behind here. So basically, you're taken here, and you set out in this area where you're installing a program. Basically, that was the idea. So these floating like Windows error messages. Your experience requires more static. Will you proceed? Yes. I forgot to mention, so with the voice work, so I only talked to one NPC so far, but for most of the NPCs, it was Desert did like, I forgot how many, I think it was like 1,500 different like sounds for this game, for the voices. Like he went above and beyond, like to the point where his voice is, he like kind of destroyed his throat for a little bit. And then we did like sort of we used a method. I'll have to do it in the dev timeline video if I actually get around to that. But we used a sort of like a method that makes the voices sound similar to Banjo-Kazooie. And then for some of the female, I decided like for some of the NPCs that were more feminine, I would help with some of the voice work. So like for this dolphin, for example, that was the voice work I did. There's like other NPCs around. If I happen to get them, I'll mention. And then Bark did some of the NPC voices in the Vinetoad Kingdom. I'm not sure if there are any others. And then we had some like other custom ones that were applied. Okay. And then if you notice, I forgot to mention too, all the most of the background music in the game was done by Bassclef. He did like an amazing job. The music like fits. He's always had. I've always complimented him on his music, and it always had. I can't remember the composer, but I said that his stuff reminds me of like Spyro, kind of like that very like fantasy type of that upbeat fantasy type of sounding music, and he did some other music in the game for some of the areas that seemed to like call back to even like stuff like Chrono Trigger, which if I go to the forest, you'll probably hear that if you haven't played the game already. And then for this, I did some music. I was going to do a lot more, but I haven't really worked on music in a while, and it does take a lot longer for me, so I didn't get too much into the game. But like for this starting area here, I did some music for the alien ship. I used like an old song that I worked on, and then the what else? It was like one more. I can't even remember what it was. I think it was just those two, and then I did a lot of the sound stuff I worked on was actually ambience type stuff that I put together. Me and Sphinx worked on a lot of the like ambience and sounds, sound effects and things like that for the game, which is fun to work on. Okay, downloading aesthetic.exe, pass through to start installation. So you go through this little thing. I originally see this little area that you jump up. I wanted to add some platforming. These are actually transparent, by the way, or not transparent. You can walk through them just so that the player doesn't get stuck if they happen to fall off the platforms. I originally wanted to have these move, like to have moving platforms, but it's a lot more. You'd think moving platforms would be very complicated when it comes to Unity, but if you're doing, the problem is if you're doing a multiplayer game, the timing, I guess it's a problem with like syncing up the animations with what other players are seeing. So it involves like a little more code, and I think Neri had some stuff like very late, that he had put together, which might be in this version. I think there was at least one moving platform that I was able to put on. But for these, I just decided, just for the sake of simplicity and just to have these static, so it won't be as hard to jump on them, and it wouldn't involve as much coding and stuff. So these are just static, and as you jump up here, you see these like little like installation like bars as you're jumping up here. Just kind of like the whole, a lot is ironic. Like my Japanese is not very good, so you may see some like very incorrect like katakana use or something. It's all supposed to be ironic with the whole vaporwave aesthetic thing. Very intentional. So let's jump up here. We have like a check symbol that lights up to let you know you're almost there. Installation is complete. Enjoy your stay. And then you just dive into this Polywater, which is very cool. And this is actually, so this is like I think it's like a shader or something, but it involves some coding. So for the most part, when everything was like put together with this level, these turned out fine, I think. I think this might have, when like the lighting and stuff was baked in, I may have had some issues with the Polywater, just because it's not like a regular shader. It has like some coding involved or something. I might be incorrect, but it's very cool looking though. It's like one of the earlier things that I ended up putting in that I think Neri suggested to me? I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool looking. So you have this like intro area that you jump down into, and you've got like some light up dolphins, of course. Gotta have an excess of dolphins in a vaporwave area. And then you come into the opening here. That was what I wanted, you know, for the player to like, you know, you go through this mysterious area, you're not sure where you're at exactly, and then you walk out, and here's this like, you know, huge vaporwave area with like tons of weird shit in it. Lots of things to look at. Ooh, this water is moving very fast. That is not something that should be happening. Interesting. Let me check something here. Okay, so this isn't actually... Okay. This is not the update version. So that might be why the water is moving very fast. So I will have to change... Well, this is actually a good opportunity for me to show what was changed in the update. And some of the like things I had to fix. So one thing though is that the water should not be moving very fast. That is the Polywater. It has like little like things you can change on it to modify like the wave speed and like how far it moves up and just little things like that. So that is something hopefully I ended up changing in the update. Yeah, I mean, I know it's like a weird, funky vapor zone, but it should not be moving that fast. So we've got palm trees, all the pink and everything like that. I wanted to also point out that these were not intentional originally. I had on the palm trees, there was something called Polywind that I had applied that usually makes the trees just sort of slowly sway back and forth. I'm not exactly sure what happened. There was something that happened when Neri was putting like the levels together or baking stuff in, like something malfunctioned with the Polywind on the palm trees to where they were like warping. There was like a weird warping animation on this, and he showed me, he's like, do you want to keep this? Because it actually looks kind of cool. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just go ahead and keep it because it works for the vapor zone. So I will tell you now, this was not like my intention originally. It was just something that happened, you know, an error that was more than welcome for me to keep in here. So, man, this is going to be pretty overwhelming to go through. I will tell you that there's so much stuff that could be talked about this game. I may have to do this in parts because there's just a lot that I could talk about when it came to like the development for this. So many details. I also want to mention, so there was like a lot of wonderful Vinesauce people in the community that worked on this, and I hope I can remember everyone. It's been a while. But we had a lot of awesome artists that worked on this too. I think BriskyBit actually did the art for this NPC here. I may have to keep like a little text thing open so I can remember the artist for each of the NPCs. But this is our like virtual helper NPC. It was supposed to be kind of like the Clippy, Bonzi Buddy, Mr. Helper from Hypnospace kind of thing. So this is something you would talk to when you first walk into the Vapor Zone.
Yep.
I think I came up with the name Krusty Buddy, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Also, I'm gonna have a hard time remembering who wrote what for some of the lines. There's like so with the writing for a lot of the NPCs, it was like we did have a writing team, but we also had some of the devs that worked on the areas also do some of the writing because we kind of knew what we had more context, I guess, with where we put the NPCs in the areas and what we wanted from them. Because some of us actually created the NPCs ourselves, and even some of us did the art. Like I did art for some of them, so we had more of an idea of what we wanted them to say and how it would fit in the areas. But there was a ton of people who helped with the writing. But we do have the credits in the game, and if you're ever curious, like if you don't want to look at the credits in the game itself, that we have a text file with all the people who worked on the game and what they did exactly. It would be too much trouble to actually write down who did what in terms of like each of the individual lines, but it just gives you a good idea of who contributed what to the game. The only thing, you know what, with this Krusty Buddy here, I'm kind of regretting that I didn't use I'm just thinking of it now, or remembering it now, the wacky, what's it, the wacky something digits, like the credit card meme, fuck was it? It was like a Mother 3 or Earthbound meme or something, where somebody did a voice thing and was saying like, to give your credit card number. I forgot, that should have been used with this, and that's something I completely forgot, but, oh well, that's an idea for another time, I guess. Since I'm here, I might as well show, some of the older, some pictures I took of the way the level looked, when I first began. Let me tab out here and pull some of these images in. You know, I'm kind of thinking it would have been better to stream this, because then maybe, like, if I had people watching, they might be able to help me kind of organize my thoughts better on this, but, I'll just do what I can in terms of showing you. Let's see. Considering this isn't the update, I'm gonna have to actually go open the updated version, after I go through here, and then that way I can show you the changes too. So, I have... Let me pull this in XSplit here. I had a, let's see, where is it? There was actually like a higher poly, version of the, oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Let's see if I can actually pull it in. Bear with me here. There we go. Okay. This is actually the very first version of this map I worked on, and it was actually just using, whoops. I end up, okay, now I'm moving the background thing. Okay, I'm learning with XSplit here. But I just used Unity's terrain tools before I did, I forgot what this, I ended up using Polysculpt or something like that afterwards for the terrain in Vaporwave Zone, but originally it was like higher poly, and I used like Unity's terrain tools, but I think we were trying to reduce the size, I think for the sake of putting it on itch.io, because I think anything after a gig has to be approved through itch, and we were kind of worried it would take too long because of how big the game was. Let's see, I think it ended up being like 3 gigs? What does it say? I don't know. I can't tell from here. Anyways, it might be 3 gigs. It might be 5. I can't remember. Definitely ended up being a lot bigger, but once we had the approval, we didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, I was trying to reduce like the amount of like triangles in the game. So that was the original map when I was starting out. I did like a checker design for the terrain, and then for the skybox, I kind of worked with like the like a pink and turquoise, and then the lighting was like a very like reddish pink. So with the combination of lights, it kind of created this cool like shine effect whenever you're looking around the map. I kind of miss it being more of the reddish color, but it's fine the way it is now. Thing is when you're also baking like the shadows and the lights too, it kind of like darkens things a bit. So we'll remove that. You can kind of show, okay, this got resized here for some reason. Okay, I could show some of the other, I've got like a lot of like test stuff that I did. Here's another one. I think this is when I was actually first testing it out. I think this is actually earlier than the other one, when I was like trying to resize the checkered texture that I made and just testing it out, because I had very little Unity knowledge at all, and I was just trying to fuck around with stuff and seeing what I could do. Let's see, this one. Oh yeah, here we go. This is like very early when I started using like the poly sculpt thing. So yeah, it definitely, it makes the terrain lower poly, but I had to mess around with the checkering on it to make it blend in a little bit better. And you have more here. This is when I started to get something a little closer to what I have now. So I made the mountains. It was kind of like a small little like map, and it originally didn't have any water around it. I think they were saying it would be fine because it's like a vaporwave map or whatever. It's supposed to be funky. It would have been fine just to have the player like fall off the map. But I thought since vaporwave usually involves like the whole sea punk aesthetic, I'd add water to it, which I got to eventually, adding the poly water around it instead of just the player falling off the edge of the map. Which you still technically can, but when you fall through the water, it'll warp you to the beginning of the map. And then here we started, this is when I started adding the lighting. So as you can see, with that really pink-red like looking sun or moon thing, it added like this neat little like pinkish red shine. So when it like went over, when you're looking around, I might be able to do it on the map that I'm on now. But it adds this like little like kind of shine onto the terrain as you're looking around. Let's see if I can actually do that when I'm... See if I can get some lighting here. You might be able to see it. Yeah, you can sort of see it when you're moving around. You have to like look towards the light. It's not as apparent in this. It was a lot more noticeable in the older, like the maps that I worked on, but it's not quite as shiny now. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate it isn't as shiny as it was. You can sort of see it now, but in the original map, it was like extremely noticeable with the lighting. Let's see, I might be able to have a few more before I start going over everything in this map here. I might even just have to split the video up and just have it be this map here, and then like do another video where I'm going over like the pizzeria, arcade, and the ship, because there's so much to talk about. Let me see what else I have here to show you. as you can notice also, I kind of went haywire on the animations. As soon as I started learning how to do the animations in Unity, I just went like kind of wild with it and did a lot of little things. I wanted a lot of like little fun things for the player to look at. Let's see. What are some other weird things? Oh yeah, so baking lighting is not as easy as it would for when you're not doing like real-time lighting. So we wanted to do, I think when you do real-time lighting for Unity games, it actually takes up a lot of space. So we did like baked lighting, which I believe reduces the size. And basically with baked lighting and shadows, it basically creates these maps where it bakes the shadows into the textures of the map itself. And there are a lot of problems. It took a lot of tweaking. There are a lot of problems that can happen with that, because I had a lot of, like, here's one of the things that actually happened. I had like objects, a lot of custom objects that I made in Milkshape, because I am not a expert modeler at all, and I don't know Blender that well. I did it at some point, but I just kind of forgot how to use it, and I have to relearn it again. So I used Milkshape, a really ancient program, but it worked for making low poly objects. And so I created a lot of objects. It was a fucking learning process, I will say that. Learning how to do this stuff in Unity. But like a lot of, at first I had like, for some of the flat objects, I actually just created like really flat stuff in Milkshape and then exported it. And then when the baking happened, it would like kind of fuck up the textures a little bit. So I had to like generate light maps for a lot of the custom objects. There's like a lot of troubleshooting I had to do with those since they weren't made in Blender. But eventually for a lot of the flat objects, I settled on, I could probably show you here. If you can see, like with the Luigi window, this is also Windows 93. I think it originally started with the Game & Wario sketches or something like that. Or Miiverse sketches with, that Vinny did. I think that's where Speed Luigi started, but this is specifically from the thing he drew in the Windows 93 stream. But this is, so in Unity you can actually just straight up create like a flat plane and apply a texture to it. So that's what I end up doing eventually, because it caused less problems when doing the baking. This is also something, actually, I just noticed, okay, never mind. I was about to get freaked out that the pointer wasn't moving. I do have a little like cursor that's actually moving around. I don't know if you can see, oh yeah, you can. That's another like, that's also a flat plane. That's just animated and moving around the map. And this is also just animated. I just left like a static cursor on it to make it seem like, you know, it's a thing, window moving around. Let me see if I have some more images here of early stuff before I move on. There's just so much to cover here. It's a little like error stuff. I know with this, there's a lot, I have pictures of like errors that happen too during, there's like a lot of weird stuff that happened when trying to get the maps together, like animations. One thing that happened with me when working with the animations is sometimes I would actually, I think just because of the way Unity is when you're moving around the maps, sometimes I accidentally would drag an animation onto something that I wasn't supposed to. I don't know if I can find the videos for that, but if I can, I'll actually show it here. If not, then you can just imagine what it was like. But dragging an animation for something that was moving onto something that wasn't supposed to, so you can just sort of imagine what that looked like. Oh god, with the speaking of the baking, let me show you the kind of problems I had to sort out with like the beginning area here. So this starter area here is made from, so while I did a lot of custom objects for a lot of the maps that I worked on, and a lot of that stuff was like made in either Unity's like, Unity has like a little like Pro Builder tool type thing where you can put objects together, but it's kind of horrid for applying textures. So it was, in some ways, it was better for me to make stuff in Milkshape, apply the textures, and then export it to Unity. But this starting building here, the building that you go through and you exit, this was made with like prefabs. We had like a bunch of prefab sets that we downloaded just to get started with some of the areas. And the problem is like some of the prefabs had like, I don't know, the way they did the texture maps, they had like little like these, it wasn't like normal textures. It was like embedded in a certain thing. They had like a bunch of different colors that you could modify it to. And so when the baking happened, I'm probably not explaining this that well, but when the baking happened, it would like fuck up the textures on this just because of the way these specific like prefabs handled the way the textures are done. And so I forgot what I did to, I think I had to generate light maps for each of these like little pieces because this thing did not come as a solid piece. I had to like put little, these are like all these individual walls and like individual like flooring and everything like that. The prefab set that this came from was like little pieces of like temple objects that you could basically put together. And that's why I had, you could probably see a lot of seams in some of the buildings in Vapor Zone because they were like put together. They weren't like solid as they are. They didn't come like together. They were like put together with pieces like fucking Legos or something. So that was fun to try and troubleshoot. And because of that, because of the baking errors on the baking errors, you can see on the first version of Vine Realms, here's something I had to fucking, I couldn't figure out how it happened. But this fucking thing here, which you can see the seams, just something that happened with the baking, and specifically because, so there's a cube that's rotating here. And when you do the animations, I believe it's supposed to bake, it would like, you know, bake the shadows from the cube into the side of this building here, but it didn't go like it was supposed to. It kind of like fucked up with the shadowing. So we had this like weird fucking pink glitch or whatever. It's not really a glitch, it's just like a fucky thing that happens to the light map, or the light map baking in the in Unity. But the only way I was able to fix it in the updated version, I think I have a screenshot for it. If I don't, I'll just go to the updated version of Vine Realms and show you what I had to fucking do to remedy that. Do I have it here? I probably don't. I'll just open up the updated version, but basically I had to cover the side of it. Here's some more, fucking baking shit that happened with this. This also shows the movement pathing that one of the, NPCs takes that, you have, when you're working in Unity and you do like moving NPCs, you set like a path down that they'll follow. This is something else. This is also the same, from the same like prefab set that I was using, like modular. It's called Modular Temple. So it's like little pieces of like ruins and temple that you can put together. And I thought they worked, the way they looked worked for the Vapor Zone, but unfortunately I had a lot of fucking like light map baking errors with this one. So it took a lot of troubleshooting. I think the problem was mostly with the sizing of the textures. I think that's what caused the problems. Let's see, do I have any other errors, baking errors I can show you? I think that's it for those. I'm trying to see if there's anything in here that I can show of early Vaporwave before I move on. Oh, okay, this is actually, here, I can show one more thing here. This is actually before, this is a little empty, but this is like when I was starting to add more stuff to it. This is like, before I added the pizzeria. and just had like the Vinny head and just the water. I didn't even add the starting area at that point. Originally, I was gonna have the player start at like the beginning of this road here that you see with the palm trees along it. I had this like hub area here. I didn't have a lot added at that point. I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But I'm kind of pleased that I added like that big intro area. That adds more for the player to do in terms of like platforming and stuff to look at. Yeah, the pizzeria, the area with the pizzeria, you see like these stairs here, but originally I was gonna have some, I don't know, fucking column or something that people could jump on and have an NPC to talk to, but I'm kind of glad I decided on the pizzeria. One reason I added the pizzeria into the vapor zone, not to jump around so much, but this is just gonna be the way it is when I'm talking this map. So, okay, I believe this is also this here. Here's some more baking errors. That should be fixed in the update. But the reason I added the pizzeria in the vapor zone is because one of the extra areas, so the vaporwave zone was one of the extra areas we were planning. It wasn't like one of the original things, a part of the whole like the world ideas. It was just like kind of an extra thing in case we happened to get done with the other areas. Which with the main areas, it was Sphinx, Zenny, and Bark who worked on like the main areas, and then I did the extra stuff. But a pizza area, we're like, okay, if it's a Vinesauce fan game, we gotta have a pizza area. I think this happened, what the fuck game was Vinny playing? It was, Vinny was playing a game that was like 21 the World. I don't know if it was like the sequel to that or something that was similar to it, but there was a pizza area in it, and Vinny was like, oh, you know, I think Vinny mentioned if you make like a Vinesauce fan game or something, you gotta have a pizza area. And so we're like, okay, that happened while we were working on this game. We're like, okay, we need to have like a pizza area. And originally, I think I have the videos somewhere. They are like, it's like way the fuck back when I was fucking around with Unity, but originally, I was just gonna have this huge open area that was like in space with like these pizza platforms that you would jump on. It would be kind of very similar to that whole like LSD Dream emulator, like very simple, like weird, just walk through and jump on shit kind of style. I don't know how the pizzeria thing came about. I think I was thinking of Vinesauce references. I was like, okay, I need to put Duke Nukem in somewhere, and then I was just looking at like old Vinesauce references, and then I think Vinny has an old video where he's doing impressions of like the Duke saying piece of cake or something, and like in my mind I was like, okay, piece of cake, pizza cake. It sounds like pizza cake, and I'm pretty sure that joke's been made before. I was like, okay, maybe I can make like a Duke Nukem themed, like a pizzeria. That would be really cool to work on. And I know in like the Duke Nukem games, there's like the burger joint. I forgot what the fuck. I think it's just called like Duke Burger or something like that. It's like, okay, well, there's Duke Burger. I can make like a Duke Pizzeria. But because we were worried about, I guess, legal stuff, I don't know. It was a little like confusing with the like what we should actually put in terms of copyright or what we shouldn't. We tried to stay around that, so you can see a lot of like bootleg versions of stuff that exists in games in Vine Realms. So I made like, I mean, it's obviously Duke, but he's got a mustache, and so it's like it's Papa Duke. He's a pizzeria chef or something like that. I did like the pixel art for this, but this is what I started with. And I put the building together. I did some of like I did the signs and stuff, started decorating it. And then I made this little the record player here, because I wanted to add like some old like vintage music thing to Vapor Zone, since you know, Vaporwave is normally associated with music. And so I just wanted to add like a, oh shit, how did I fall through that? So I wanted to add a record player, which normally when the emotes are around, you'd actually see an emote on here. I think it's like one of Norix's emotes. But yeah, I made a record player in Milkshape and did like the pizza thing, added the animations in Unity. If we had like a thing that would have been cool, if we had more time and had like the whole like platform like server syncing thing figured out, it would have been cool to actually have the players rotate on the pizza, but at the moment when you're just standing on it, you don't rotate or anything like that, so it just rotates on its own. If you look on the back of this too, I put like a big I should actually enable speed here. If you've already played this, you'll know that, you know, we have all these like little extra animations and stuff. These, okay, apparently, I must have already had it. No, that's for jumping. This is for speed. But you can see I put like the, Papa Duke on the back of the record player too. I will go into the pizzeria later because there's way too much in the pizzeria. Like with the pizzeria and the arcade, that's a lot to talk about. So let me just do Vapor Zone first here. Let's start with like I mean, when you're coming in here, you might actually notice the Vinny head first off. If you're looking to the side here, it's got to be the most noticeable thing. But yeah, this is one of the things I put in early on. Oh god, that fucking water. Oh, I should switch to the update in just a second, but let me talk about the Vinny head. So this is like a reference to Vine Dead, obviously. I did like the art of it, and put the Vinny head in. The idea for the giant head, kind of sticking out of the water was a reference to the end of Evangelion. Which I thought, I don't know, like, I thought it would kind of fit in a Vaporwave thing too, because Vaporwave has like this weird, like, depressing thing that gets associated with it, and I thought like the Vine Dead face sticking out of the water in like an end of Evangelion type of way would be perfect for this area. That was like, do I even have, I think I have like a terrible sketch of what I was trying to, trust me, I am an artist when I want to be, but, you know, like I've done some of the art, some of the, like, random art shit in this game, but other times I don't want to fucking, like, when you're working on a game and trying to get out ideas, you don't want to, like, spend too much time, when you're trying to, like, communicate ideas to others when it comes to a concept, you don't want to spend too much time on the details. You want to get out something simple that they can understand, and then like someone can come in, either you who are working on the art or someone else who wants to work on the art can actually go in and do like the full thing. So let me show you here what I was trying to, did I put it in here? It was like a head sticking, it was like a sketch of a head sticking out of the water. I probably don't really need to show it, but it was just kind of funny. Thought I put it in here. Apparently not. Oh well. I have this like little folder where I tried to put all the development stuff so that I can drag and XSplit, but I'll probably have to show that later on. So that's fine. You get the idea though. And originally, oh yeah, I just noticed too that the fog, okay, another thing here. The fog isn't as, so I have fog added to the map, which when you first walk in, it kind of obscures, at a certain distance it's supposed to obscure some of the details of the background, like the Vinny head, like you can see as you move further away, it gets like pinker. The fog also obscures the city skyline that I have in the back there. Also the meats are kind of obscured by the pink fog until you get closer. I don't really know where the whole meat, this was also like some crappy art that I put together to shove in the ocean. I just wanted something else huge to shove in the ocean. I was like, okay, I'll do the meats. with sunglasses to stick in there. And I apologize, but I did not have any intention of them looking phallic from far away. So like if you see that when looking at them for the first time, that's on you. You know, that was not intentional. I did not mean to make them look like dicks sticking out of the water, but they look phallic anyways. You can't help that. I mean, meat came, I mean, I know the actual puppet came from like a Microsoft ad or something, like an old Microsoft ad, but like the meme that Vinny latched onto, that's 100% like, you know, it's a perverted thing, so. It was meant to be phallic, or represent something phallic, so can't help that. Let me see if there's any other, I don't know if I had any other sketches of stuff. Oh yeah, she showed, here, let me show the actual Vinny head art here. The original without it being, so that was the original art. It looks a lot pinker. I'm actually kind of proud of myself in doing this, but yeah. Just to show you what it originally looked like before I put it in. It's a lot less pink. Let's see, I'm just looking here. It's a lot to go over. Oh yeah, actually, okay, here's something I can show you. This is a Joel meme. I tried really hard. I'm gonna admit, I'm mostly someone who watches Vinny, so I do know the old Joel memes, but I did need help with some of the Joel stuff. But I did try and put, I mean, it's a vaporwave zone. It's got like, oh yeah, speaking of which, extra areas. So originally with the extra areas, we were gonna have a Windows destruction zone for Joel memes. And like just the OS destruction stuff, we were probably gonna combine it with the corruption area. So it would be like corruption stuff, Windows destruction. But in the end, we decided just to combine it with Vaporwave because Vaporwave gets associated with like retro shit anyways. So I tried to throw like some Joel memes in here when it comes to like Windows destruction and some of the like weird like old OS like memes. Like this, I'm not like, I had to like do some research on this meme, but the Pussy Destroyer, the guy that's on like the Norton antivirus software covers or whatever, he gets depicted on it. I don't understand the meme fully, but I imagine the whole like Pussy Destroyer thing, I'm probably wrong about this, but it comes from like the way he looks. He looks like someone, he looks like a real chat, like that whole, let me show you here. I have like a image. I'm probably entirely wrong, so if any Joel fans are watching me, please correct me, but he has like, here's an image here that is, it has to be, this meme has to be related to the way he looks. I mean, look the way he just stares at you. He looks like a real Chad. So I'm assuming that's how the meme came about, but yeah, it's like Dr. Norton. It's just funny putting a guy dressed up as a doctor in front of an antivirus. It's just funny. So that's what this is based on. I combined, okay. I know there's a lot of like, slightly lewd Vinesauce memes in here, but I tried to make it like not as obvious in this because this is like, this game is tied to a charity for children with cancer, so I had to be really careful. There's a lot of stuff I could not put in here. I tried to be safe. But you know, if you watch Vinesauce, you'll kind of, or if you've been around on the internet for a while, you'll pick up on some of the old memes and stuff that may not be as safe for work. Like this particular thing here, like centipedes in my Vaporwave. If you know what the actual meme is referencing, I won't say it here, but yeah, it's an old thing with centipedes in my blank. It's more likely than you think. That's the meme that's referencing. So I put like a bunch of like waifu looking centipedes on it. Centipedes are associated with Vinny. He hates centipedes. I thought creating a centipede girl would make it even worse. And then I put like the Dr. Norton on it. So yeah, and there's some like corruption with the letters or whatever. I kind of went wild with shit in the Vapor Zone. Speaking of another Joel meme, I fucked up. I forgot what the exact thing was. So this is supposed to be a reference to Aga in katakana, but I fucked up with the katakana a bit. So I did change that, because somebody pointed it out, I think, when Vinny was streaming it or when the video went up. So I actually did change this in the update, which I will show you later. And then we have, of course, we have tons, I have tons of, Vape Horizons around, which, I'm gonna be honest, the Vape Horizon thing was like the very first model. Now I've did some model stuff in Milkshake before, so this is not like, you know, my very first thing, but, at least for this was like the very first model I did, and it's not very good at all. It's like basically in order to create, because I didn't want to like just create a, 3D heads from scratch. I could have done it later, because I really like, as I went through this, I got better and better at making models, and it happened really quick. I did this, like this thing happened in like 3 months. I know the original planning for the game started like 6 months, but I was pulled in like, when we only had like 3 months left, not even that. So I had to learn how to do stuff really quick, in terms of like, not knowing how to use Unity, not being that good at modeling, and then I got better as time went on. So it was pretty awesome in a way. A little frustrating, but it was cool to like get better at stuff. So very first thing, model, like custom model that I put in here. It's not very good, but I wanted to take the original like 2D image that I made for Vape Horizon, which originates from Vine Realms. It's a combination of Vaporwave stuff plus, not Vine Realms, Vine Rooms, which is a mod of a, LSD Dream Emulator homage that I made, with Vinesauce references, and that's what this came from. And then I think I didn't expect people to latch on to Vape Horizon as much as they did, but you do see it in like other fan games, like, Mario's Mystery Mate had Vape Horizon, like people have done art of it, so I thought it was pretty cool that that happened. But I do have a few here, just a bunch of randomly sized Vape Horizon statues. And then speaking of Vape Horizon, I did put like a regular Vine Horizon reference in here, the Do Not Presume, which is a reference to, I think, Vinny trying to get tech support from Vine Horizon, and I think one of the people helping him was telling him to not presume, I guess, about the his connection problems. But normally here when the emotes are actually out, you would get like the Vine Horizon emote here, which, let me go to... See, normally, if you actually haven't played this, normally the whole point of this game is, other than just like interacting with other than interacting with the NPCs that are references to Vinesauce and stuff, and talking to them, and also interacting with players, when we actually had a bunch of people on the server, you would collect emotes and animations and different stuff like that. And you can see here, there's a ton of emotes from the different streamers that you would collect, and then you'd also collect little avatars, which I can change. What would be a good one? Here, let's use this. It'll actually should change the way I look here. So yeah, you can see, I changed to the, not cool, I forgot what this one, this is just a general, like, this is like a synthwave Toad. But speaking of which, I did combine some synthwave stuff, I guess, in this area as well. I don't know, I think like synthwave and vaporwave blends in a little bit, but I won't go into that. So we have our Vine Horizon reference here, and then we have this like little hub, like when you first come in, you go to. Let me talk about another Joel meme. So we have, okay, so I made a bootleg Pepsi Man. This art was done by Scootlay. And this is like layers of memory, I will say, because so we have, this isn't Pepsi Man, this is Boppus Man. And Boppus is a parody of Beppis, which is a parody of Pepsi. So there are layers here. I didn't want to directly rip off Beppis, but Boppus is like, you know, kind of related to that. So it's like the orange and blue. And then I made a Boppus. I have a few vending machines that I made that are in Pizzeria as well, but this is like the first one I worked on. And let's see if I can get a little closer. I might be able to see it. No. Okay, I'll have to do it from here if you can see it closely. There's actually supposed to be, I think originally there's supposed to be a button to zoom in. Here, get over here and see in the controls. I think on with the PC controls. Oh, you can actually change the FOV. That might actually help here. Let me do that. I think the FOV, let's see, does it actually notice? There's supposed to be, originally there was a way to actually zoom in this stuff. I don't know if it's still there, but I think the FOV is a way to compromise. So you can see stuff a lot further away or closer up in some ways. I'm using keyboard controls because the controller wasn't working properly with this version, so for some reason. Let's see, I thought I had a thing out for, let's see, release, readme. Okay, it should be in the readme. Zoom in. Okay, it's Z. Is it working on this? No, it is not working on this, so I'll have to try the other version. But with the Boppus machine, I put in a lot of references to the streamer. It's mostly Joe and Vinny, but I did add some of the other streamer stuff here. So you can see with the flavors on the Boppus machine, we have the Lidl flavor, which is a Joel reference to some store. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but I guess it's a store that sells like cheap versions of stuff that actually exists. It's almost like, I would say it's like the dollar store. It just like sells like alternate versions of stuff, like actual brand name stuff. And I think it's a store in Sweden or Germany or something like that, but we have some here, some in the United States. You have classic Boppus, Pigeon Milk, which I don't 100% understand the meme. I wish I did. It's also Joel meme. He did this like song or remix or whatever. It's like this song he came up with in relation to like Albert Wesker. I don't know if he was like playing RE5 at the time or if he just like had Albert Wesker and Meme House or something. I don't know what the Albert Wesker association was, but it's a song about like Wesker milking pigeons and like I don't know. You'll just have to look it up. I thought I used to remember what it was about, but anyways, that's what that's a reference to. That's why it has the umbrella symbol on it. Then you have garlic flavor, which has like the W on it for Wario. Which, you know, but I think like a lot of the streamers are familiar with that. I know Benny's made a lot of Wario jokes. Barbecue flavor, reference to the Barbecue Pit Boys, which is another Joel meme. Feet flavor with the, like a falcon on it. Reference to, you know, honestly, I don't even fucking remember where the feet joke started from. It's just like whenever like Captain Falcon from like I can't believe I'm F-Zero, completely blanking on it. I know he played some F-Zero games, and of course Captain Falcon's in Smash. I don't really know where the feet meme came from. It's just Vinny saying feet in like Captain Falcon's voice. I don't remember where it started, but maybe I don't really want to know. And then we have our Vaporwave flavor of Boppus. We have limes, or lime flavor as a reference to limes. Slime, which is it's got like a little troll in there. I'm gonna admit I don't really, I read like way the fuck back. I've read a little bit of Homestuck, never really got into it. I know about some of the memes related to it because you can't, in some ways you can't avoid it because Homestuck became such a big thing. But I know that Rev, both Rev and Jin are like fans of Homestuck. I know there's a lot of stuff related to that, so I thought I'd put that in there as a reference to them both. I know they're like Homestuck fans. I know Rev's been like doing stuff related to home stuff recently, so I just thought it'd be appropriate to put it in. Chaos Flavor, which is a reference to Chaos from the Sonic games. I forgot the specific Sonic game. I'm not like completely up on my Sonic lore and stuff. I know Vinny makes Sonic references, but this is mainly something for Imakuni, because Imakuni is a Sonic fan. Speaking of which, I will go over some of the Sonic references in this area, but I'll wait on that. There's a corrupt Boppus flavor, so the actual image for it is all messed up. And then we have pizza flavor, because why not? I mean, Vinny, it's mostly for Vinny, but you know, I'm sure other people wants pizza flavor. Would you actually drink it? I don't think so. Actually, for most of these flavors, would you even drink them? I don't think so. I do know, I will tell you though, for a fact, I know that they make barbecue. Well, at least, let me think here. I can't remember if it's they make barbecue soda or if they make soda flavored barbecue sauce. I know I've seen one of the two in real life. That's something they make. I don't actually know, and I wouldn't be surprised the Lidl soda exists. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if like garlic soda exists. That's gotta be something that exists. Lime soda, that's very common. The rest, pizza, I wouldn't drink pizza soda. That'd be fucking gross. So about Sonic though, you can actually see, so we have, there's like I did try to put a lot of Sonic in here for, because I know Imakuni's a fan of Sonic stuff, so I tried to put as many Sonic references in as possible, and there actually is like, there might be more, I think there's more Sonic references in OC, but I could probably show this later if I happen to go through those areas. So, an addition that I put in here is, this is something I tried to model unsuccessfully. It's not as smooth looking as I could, but it's a reference to like, let me see here. I might actually have an image for it. Images, let's see. Oh yeah, this. It's not as good looking as this. Definitely not. I could have done better if I knew like Blender or Unity's modeling thing a bit better, but it's actually a reference to this loop here. So I wanted to make like this little loop, and then I did put like the little computer monitor with a very janky looking tails. I might actually be able, let's see, let me switch on the jump, so I should be able to get up there. Or will I? Maybe not. So I can actually show you the janky looking tails. Can I get up there? Nope. I might be able to get up there with, yeah, let me get up here. Yeah, speaking of one of the earlier things, so I wanted to put some platforming puzzles in, and this kind of caused an issue for me. Not the platforming puzzle itself, but just like, the whole planning. Okay, so I put in a platforming thing. It was supposed to be hard. Let's check this guy here. So this is actually, so with artists, also, Deadset, Izzy? Deadset, I'm probably getting her name wrong, but, I usually called her Izzy. I think it's, the full name is like Deadset Jetworks Izzy. She did a ton of the art for the game, and in a lot of the NPCs, and she did the style guide. Let me just go ahead and show that, since I'm on the topic. I know I'm jumping around the stuff so much, but it's the only way I know how to do it, so please forgive me. Do I have the style guide in here? I might be completely blinding it. Oh, here we go. Okay. This is the, let me show the style guide here, since I'm on the topic. So Izzy did the style guide that we followed for the art. We had like a ton of artists that helped with the NPCs and various things of the game, and I even did some too. So this is, we basically, we're doing, using sort of like Kirby and Paper Mario, as an inspiration for the style of the NPCs. And so we see like with the coloring here, we also had to like kind of put an outline around the NPCs too, so that when they were actually modeled, because they are, even though they look flat, they are actually modeled because they have like a cardboard backing to them and everything. So when you did the art and the outline, you actually had to make it the outline sort of simple enough to model around. So she did the style guide. There, let me see, there might be one more I can show you. Is it going to show it? Oh, here we go. Okay. She also did this image here too. So to show you how, so with the NPCs, like when they're, we wanted to make them look like, you know, sort of animated in a way. Bold outlines. It was just a good, she did a really good guide to follow. A lot of the notes here, action pose that we wanted the NPCs to have instead of just standing static like this. So, okay, let me get back to what I was talking about here. So,
Yeah.
we have the glitch room here, which I do have two wandering around.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the platforms here, so he says you need to get good. And the thing is when I first created this, the map, don't want to, let me just kind of switch it off here. I want to get the regular jump. Let's see, I need to actually turn off the jump. Okay, good. This is the regular jump. So originally, I had no idea that we're gonna add like a jumping, like a high jump to this game. And also, I think the jump height that we start out with wasn't that good. So when I created this little like, so I wanted to create sort of a platforming challenge for players so that they can get to some more harder to get like emotes and stuff. And then I got kind of worried, like early on, I got kind of worried that the platforming puzzle would be too hard. Because like now I think the jump height, the jump height and the run speed and everything has been fixed since like early on. So it's not as hard to get over the platforms anymore. You can just sort of run and it's slightly janky. But it's not as hard as it used to be when I was actually doing this for the first time, testing it out. And so I was like, oh, well, this might be too hard. And so I wanted to give players sort of a hint to a shortcut that you'd be able to take in order to get up here. So it's not that hard. So and the problem with that, oh, here's a NPC. So I think 8-Bit, was it 8-Bit Beetle? I think 8-Bit Beetle did the art for this. I'm not sure. Okay. I'll get back to that point in a minute. So we do have little friends that are actually hidden throughout the world. There's actually like ones, the regular looking ones that are actually just placed in areas where you can't reach, but then you have the friends that you can actually talk to. You get like, I think you get emotes from them? I think so. And some of them give you, well, actually, it might be emotes. And then when you get a certain amount of emotes, you unlock animations. That's right. Okay, so you have the platforming thing here. You get up here and you can get up to emotes. So early on, it was actually hard. So what I did was, okay, I'm going to give the players a hint to a shortcut that they can take in order to get up there quicker. And so I had this NPC. And then, so this, because this isn't the update version, let's see here. I had speaking of this NPC, actually, we had a hard time, for some reason, like, there was an issue with him not giving the dialogue, so we had to fix that. There was, like, a problem with, like, so you notice the NPCs kind of follow you a little bit. He doesn't quite as much. I think that's just, like, for whatever reason, his, like, model was conflicting with, possibly the way the terrain was made. I'm not sure what the actual issue is, but, We had a problem like with him being interactable before. So, okay, so this is the NPC. This is the NPC that gives you the hint to a shortcut. And, you know, when you're making a game, you sort of, it's kind of hard to know how people will figure out things, like how players will respond and figure out things on their own. And so you assume that, oh, one thing's going to be harder for people and another thing will be easy. Well, it turned out the opposite when I was making this, because when the game was put out, because of the fixes to the running and the jumping and everything, and also because people could unlock the jump height thing, the platforming challenge was actually really easy, and then the actual, like, people finding the shortcut was the hard thing. Like, a lot of people didn't even know where it was. I tried to hint to it as best as I could, but that was actually something to hint to it. I actually changed and made it way more obvious in the update. So it's actually probably good I'm showing you the non-update version. That way I can sort of show the differences. Okay, so when you talk to him... Okay, let me get back to... So he says, you want to know how to go even higher. Okay, so he references how to go high. And if you look up, the highest thing that you can see on the map is this little, like, area here that's got polywater under it, which, that polywater in the, I don't know if it's fixed in the update version, but we had an issue where the polywater on that little area there would either show up black or it'd show up normal, and I think it just had to do with, the light map baking. It would fuck up a lot. Anyways, this is the highest area you can get to on the map, so you're like, okay, how do I get to it? Can't figure it out. If you talk to him, he says you can go higher. Okay, so how do I go higher? Okay, let me get back to that dialogue. So he says, don't be a square, be more like a cube. Cube is highlighted. So the idea is pay attention to a cube. And then he talks about a round one. The round one is highlighted in blue. Keep yourself centered and take a dive. Okay, so he talks about a cube. The cube is in sort of red, but most of the cubes here are kind of like a pinkish color because of the lighting. So you would think, okay, well, at least this is what I was thinking that I thought would help the player figure it out, but I guess it didn't. So the idea was, okay, you want to get higher, and then the cube is highlighted. Okay, so you would pay attention to the cubes around. And he says, but I noticed when people were playing this, the hint that they got is they thought that it meant to follow the little, the blue round thing, which is, the blue round thing is a reference to Sonic. So if you look here, it actually goes, through the rings and goes around to the hub area. And then it, slowly drops into this, like, little pool here. And so people kept thinking to jump into the pool. The pool doesn't take you anywhere, which I kind of regret because the pool is in the center here, you would think it was important, but, you know, it isn't, and I'm kind of regretting not making that the actual, shortcut area. So that's just it's a learning process with, making games and trying to figure out how people, will actually play the game versus how you think they'll play the game. But yeah, they thought this was the shortcut because they were like, okay, we'll follow the blue ball, it falls into the pool. That doesn't take you anywhere. So some people stopped it there. But the thing is so the blue ball comes back. You basically are supposed to trace where the blue ball comes from the sky. Well, if you wait for a bit, you see, unfortunately I made it too fast, and I don't know if I slowed it down in the update. I don't think I did. So that's probably why people didn't catch that, is when it actually does come out of the water, it comes out way too fast for anyone to catch, and that's probably why people didn't pick up on it. But originally you're supposed to follow it back from the sky. Okay, so it comes back from the water. What's closest to the water? There's a cube. I know I probably made this a lot more complicated than it should have been, which is why I changed the dialogue for this a little bit. It says keep yourself centered and take a dive. So you would go to the cube, go to the center, follow it down to the water, and drop into the water. And as you can see, there's a little ring there. And that actually takes you to the top of this area, but a lot of people had a really hard time figuring that out. And now that I think about it, I kind of realize why. But when you actually, the idea is if you actually figured this out where the shortcut was, and you took this area instead of the platforming, he would actually, this NPC here would actually sort of berate you in a way using a more recent meme related to Sekiro, which I reworded a little bit. And the funny thing is about this is the actual challenge based on the way people play this game is actually finding the shortcut and not the platforming, so that just makes this even funnier in a way. But yeah, you would basically drop down here and it would take you right here as a shortcut, but that is a, you know, a mistake on my part when making this area, thinking that people would find that a lot quicker than actually getting up the platforming, so. Can we get up there? I was gonna show the, you can kind of see the janky tails from there. I think if I turn on the jump, I should be able to get up there. People have been actually able to access stuff in this map that I didn't think they would access with the high jump. Let me turn this on here. Might actually be bad having this trying to do the platforming thing though, because it might screw me up. Okay, should be able to get to it from here. There we go, there's Janky Tails, as a reference to the little monitors that you would hit in Sonic. And maybe I could stand here for a minute and sort of follow the Sonic. Normally there's like a little Knuckles emote that you would get there too. So you wait for a minute here. See if I can actually... Okay, there we go. So we have the little like Sonic ball. It goes so fast, I'm kind of wishing... But he basically like goes through the loop. I mean, he's supposed to be fast. I mean, that's sort of the intention in a way because it's supposed to be a reference to Sonic, but I'm kind of thinking it went too fast. So let's go ahead and talk to some of the other NPCs. This is actually a, I believe Cryptid Kitten did the art for this NPC. And it's an NPC that was originally made for Vinetoad Kingdom, I think, or the desert area. Lupin Desert, but I put one in here just to have like a cranky old guy to talk about like how the way videos, you know, I regret because I could have made it back when the game was the game reference, and there's like just a lot of stuff that didn't make it in that I forgot about. Let's see here. This will actually be better for me to, that way you can see the NPCs closer. So it's making a, I mean, if you didn't pick up on that, he's making a reference to Pong, which is kind of funny because he already is in an area that's supposed to be low poly and a reference to retro stuff. So he's even older, like he's referencing stuff that's like super old in terms of video games. I don't think I gave him... Okay, so I wrote the dialogue for him. I don't think I gave him any more dialogue. Okay, yeah, it's just that. Alright, let's check out the hub here. I'm trying to hit, as I go along, trying to hit, there's that cursor again. Trying to hit all the stuff in here and all the NPCs. There is gear. We put gear. I don't really know why gear's in the Vaporwave area. I'm not sure why that decision was made. Unfortunately, I don't know Gearmatic as well as I should, but I assume he just kind of fits. This whole gear thing kind of just fits with the Vaporwave area. I don't know if he likes Vaporwave stuff that much. Maybe he does. Maybe that's why he's here. Whoops. Whoop, hit the wrong button. You do notice a lot of the NPCs here will make sort of philosophical stuff too. A lot of, I didn't really write a lot of that, but like different people wrote the lines for these NPCs, but I guess it sort of fits with Vaporwave. Now, that particular line there, okay, so I've played RuneScape a little bit, but not enough to get what that was referencing. When I found out what that reference, it was kind of funny, but it's like an old, I think it's like an old dick joke thing for RuneScape? I don't even know. But, I guess if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Okay, so that's all the... So he actually, for the streamers, when it comes to the voice stuff, we actually did have these streamers do their voice lines. Basically, we had them do a bunch of like sounds and stuff for the sort of Banjo-Kazooie-ish dialogue, and then like I believe it was Sphinx that actually edited the sounds down to have them time properly for the way it sounds. Like it's all. You think you could just like drop the sounds in and that would be fine, but with the method that was used, they had to be trimmed in a certain way to sound appropriate. So it's gear. Let's take a look at this monitor here. I made a, here's another reference. So a lot of these, like I said, I did a lot of the custom art and objects in this area. So we have like a lot of low poly computers that you can see around. That was actually one of my favorite things to do for this game, is make these low poly objects with like pixel. I used pixel art for the textures, and it worked really well. Maybe I can show. That's also a for this monitor here. That's a Celery Man reference, which I just put an actual Celery Man in. It says, please email us at this web zone. Another Vinny reference. Here, I can show what the computers looks like. Oh, this is actually going on for an hour and a half. Holy shit. I just looked at Expert now. So yeah, I might actually end up having to make like a 3-part thing for each area that I worked on, because there is, like I said, so much stuff to talk about when it comes to this game. I didn't even know I was going on for that long. And then like the dev timeline video, oh my god. I mean, there's a reason why I held off on making a video, and why some of the others may have not even decided to do it, because there was way too much to talk about. But I wanted to do this also because there's a lot of stuff that people don't know about when it came to the planning process, and what was the idea, the thought process behind like a lot of this stuff. So here's like the little, I have a lot of the little models, but this is what it looks like. I made it in milk shape. But very simple, like low poly model. I think it's cute. It works for this. There's like a lot of the other ones I did. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so I showed the record player. I've got like, I used like a lot of references. You always, like references are great. I would never discourage using references when you're trying to like model stuff or do art or anything like that. But when it came like to making the record player, I used this Victrola record player as a reference. It's a very nice looking one that I wish I had, but it's a little vintagey looking. I mean, it's a record player, of course it's gonna look vintage, but I like the style of it, the like briefcase style. Let's see if I have any other. Oh yeah, here's the original, in case you haven't seen it yet. I'm sure anyone watching this probably has, but this is the original Vape Horizon that I based the statues on that showed up in Vine rooms. Let's see here. Just looking around to see what else I could show before I move on. Oh yeah, the original. So because of the lighting, it kind of like messed up the colors of the Celery Man, but this is what the actual... I did that. That was also done like, so I have a program called Piskel that I use, and I'm using kind of an outdated version. I'm sure it's been updated way beyond what I'm using now, but that's the art for that. So I did like all the... It's a lot of like little art things I did for the objects that I made in here. It took quite a little bit of time. What else can I show here? Oh yeah, for the dolphin. While I'm looking at the folder here. So I have a bunch of dolphin stuff. Let me move to that. I didn't put as many, like, I was gonna actually model out dolphins and put them in the like little poly water, but that, you know, we only had so much time to do stuff. If I had like as much time as I wanted to work on this game, I probably would have put in way more stuff and maybe some extra areas too, but that didn't happen. Yeah, let's go to this. This was another one made by Izzy. Made a lot of the NPCs in this area, the art for it. So there's a funny thing that happened with this NPC. That was all my fault when doing some of the dialogue for some of the NPCs of this game. But I was trying to do a vaporwave aesthetic thing with some of the dialogue. So I thought, oh, I'll use like, there's like a vaporwave translator thing that sort of corrupts the text and puts like little weird symbols in it and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'll do that. I'll copy that and put it in some of the dialogue for some of the NPCs in this area. You don't want to do that. With the way we were doing, the method we were using for the game to actually read text files and put them into the game, because the symbols, the thing is Unity would read the symbols and think that they were like, confuse them with actual like code or something like that, and it caused some issues with the dialogue. So I had to change it, but yeah, next time when I'm working on something like this, and using the method that we used for inputting the dialogue, don't use symbols. There's a lot of symbols you cannot use in the dialogue, because Unity will read that and go like, oh, well, you're trying to put in some kind of code or something. Because, with the actual, you notice, well, with the dialogue, there's a certain timing on it, and some of the dialogue has coloring on it. So when we put the dialogue in the text files for Unity to read, some had like, I guess it kind of works like CSS or whatever, when putting in stuff for Unity to read, oh, well, this should be this color, or this should be like italic or bold, things like that. So when you put symbols that you're not supposed to in there, Unity will try to read them and think that you're trying to modify the text or something. So that's why it caused problems. This is also Desert's voice as well. Desert did a lot of... We used a lot of Desert sounds files in this game. So he's just a philosophical shroom. This is also... Here, this computer is also a reference to the dolphin.exe. You can trust me, senpai, I'm a dolphin. Let's see, which I did have... We showed the... Yeah, this is the original art here. It's a lot more clear looking. I just drew that, and so in order to give these more of a retro look, what I did was just I mainly use Psy because I'm an old fart a little bit. I know some people used Psy for doing art still. A lot of people moved on to Clip Art Studio. I have or Clip Studio Paint or whatever it's called. I actually do have that, but I haven't started using it again, so I was just using Psy because it's just easy to open and jump into. But I would draw this shit in Psy, and then I'd put it in Piskel, which you can put it in Piskel and like downsize it, and it'll turn it into like pixel art in a way, and then you can kind of like modify it as you need to. So that's what I did for some of the art in this game, kind of give it that pixelated look. Let's see, what else can I talk about? So in order to do, I can explain the method a little bit of how to do these like images here. As you notice, these like flat images that have like that are sort of cut out. There's a specific process to it. And like with the skyline in the background there, it's got like where the pink fog's sort of obscuring it. I'll show you what the original art looks like. There's a process to making things cut out looking in Unity or transparent. Let's see if I can show. I think this is the original skyline. Oh yeah, this is so there's when you want to make something transparent, you make like two different image files. You have like an emissive texture, and then you have a diffuse. I believe the diffuse, I'm gonna have trouble remembering how to explain this, but basically one of the textures is the way the image actually looks, and the other one defines like the areas that need to be cut out. And I think the one with the black background is the one that Unity uses to define what needs to be cut out. This is, I believe this is the original skyline image that I use. And in order to keep Unity from making the actual buildings transparent, also, I kind of upped, because this was originally black, the skyline, and I kind of like lightened it up a bit so Unity wouldn't make that transparent also. And then I put like an outline on it, but all the black parts here, let me switch so you can see. Yeah, let me do that. But all the black parts in the image were cut out, and then with the pink fog, because the image, the skyline, is so far in the background, it sort of helped with when I put the pink fog in. It sort of helps with like blending it in with the environment in a way, because the pink fog also causes the edge of the water back there to also look pink as well. So it helps the buildings blend in. Kind of wishing I put more. But the buildings in the water, or this like skyline in the water idea, actually came from Mono, I think. I think he originally was gonna had the idea of like me putting just like buildings sort of like, well, I originally was gonna have these like model out like skyscrapers and stuff, just sort of like randomly placed in the water in a way like the way these Vape Rising statues are placed, where they're kind of like crooked a little bit and awkwardly sticking out of the water. But I was like, nah, you know, since I had this like Vinny head here, I thought it'd be a nice reference to like New York or Staten Island or whatever, to put the like a city skyline behind him. You know, that would be like a nice reference to New York stuff. And hey, he's by a pizzeria. That makes it even better. Okay. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can cover everything within 2 hours, because I noticed the video is getting to 2 hours. So with the transparent cutout thing and the emissive, this is actually how I did the logos too, is I used the whole like emissive thing. And what you could do is take, I think with the animation, the way you do animations in this game, you can actually edit the textures too. And so that's how I made them, so I had them cut out, and then with the animations, I had them like fade in and out to sort of make it look like a lit up sign. And it's sort of the same thing I did with the, is this like that in here? Oh yeah, the exit. Let me show that real quick. I kind of wanted to wait to show this, but I might as well show it now. If you notice with the textures that I use in here, it's not as noticeable animated unless you stand still, but this was also done using the animation while moving like two textures against each other. I'd have to actually show how it works in Unity. It's a little complicated, but if you stand a bit, you can notice that they're actually kind of animated here, and it glows a little bit too. I use like movement and sort of like fading in and out the colors in order to make it look like it's glowing and moving a little bit. And that's actually a little, it's funny because this texture here, I just pulled from Vine Rooms. It was actually the floor, like the water looking floor in the Vaporwave room. And I just pulled that and like put two textures like against, I think I took two of these and put them against each other. It's kind of hard to explain unless I had Unity open, which they would just take too long. So I'll do that another time in order to like give it this like weird effect here. So I might as well just show this since I'm here. But this is the exit area, and I guess I just wanted to have an originally. I didn't know that we were going to have an option in the menu for people to return home, like back to the hub area. I guess that was decided later. I'm not sure, but in some ways it was just to like make it easier because not all the areas had a way to just get back to the hub. Not all areas had like an exit area, so we just thought we'd put in like a general way for people to get back there like a lot quicker than trying to travel all the way, because some of these maps are pretty huge and it would have taken a while to get back to an exit area. Here it's a lot easier. You just go back to this intro area and then go through here, and then so it's kind of like got an uninstallation theme going on here. Are you sure you want to exit the program or return to Shroom Space? Say no, injecting nostalgia directly into my brainstem. Yes. And then I thought my idea with this is that it would guilt you for leaving, so uninstalling nostalgia. Why would you do that? Why would you get rid of your memories? I mean, the thing with this also is, you know, Vaporwave, like I said, is associated with like depressing shit, so I mean that sort of fits with this too. And then we have the sad sponge faces. They're not textured. I just thought I'd keep them like pink. They actually were lighter colored, but because of the like way the baking worked, it kind of fucked up there was something with the textures that fucked up, but I just made them more pink, and so it's a little bit harder to actually to see the details on the face a little bit. But yeah, it's supposed to be a sad sponge face that I kind of modeled out. And then I put some polywater in here, and I have these like waterfalls. This is actually, I had fun doing this. This is actually animating. Basically, I had to create a texture that would, I guess, look seamless when I animated it. So this is just using like a movement animation. I had to use a technique with the animation in order to like make it loop and look seamless. There's a way to do it, but I also had to sort of edit the texture too to where it seemed like it was endlessly flowing, and that it's not as simple as it looks. It takes a bit of time here. I should have actually edited. I didn't think the player would see that from the bottom, so that's something I should have like maybe edited or made dark so it looks like the water's just coming out of somewhere else. So there's always little things I needed to fix. I may have actually lowered these in the update. I'm not sure. But yeah, you go through here. More sad sponge faces storing polygons because it's supposed to be a low poly area. Sad face because you're leaving. And then there's these disembodied. Now this doesn't, you can actually see the details here, but I made a different like sponge head model specifically for this exit. And the original, the thing is, before they decided to make this, it seems in some ways pointless to make this an exit because there's a way to exit in the menu. And my original idea was to have this like sad, ominous looking sponge face, like the mouth for this, to take you to the cursed caves. It's like, oh, you're leaving like the vapor zone, okay. Well, I don't know, it's sort of a way to like, hey, you're leaving like a place that's sort of supposed to be like nostalgic and somewhat happy, and you're going into this depressing area, and then it leads you to like the cursed caves. But what Sphinx did was actually make the exit to the cursed caves in the arcade of the pizzeria, which I will show later because this video is going really long, and I would love to spend like hours talking about this because you can really, I mean, even just playing this game regularly and trying to get all the emotes, if you don't know how to speedrun this game, I think it took like 4 hours for people to go through it, and maybe more. Like for me, it took a little bit more because I'm slow. Yeah, I'm a dev of this game and I don't even know where all the emotes are. And I don't remember everything. Isn't that great? But yeah, you can spend all the time just looking. There's a lot of little details here. Had to take a little break there. This is another NPC that was drawn by Izzy. And this is our parody of the virtual pet, which it's more of a parody of the dead hamster in Hypnospace, because I wanted to put some Hypnospace references in the Vaporwave area. But I mean, even just the Vaporwave area itself is okay, that was weird. It seemed like I got stuck on the environment there. Might actually just be with this NPC. I have a feeling I might want to switch to the other version here. So I think I'll do that and then talk about the extra stuff, because I think some of the stuff would be fixed in the other version of game. So let me switch to that real quick. Okay, so this should be the right version of Vine Realms now. I didn't realize that the so the right version is actually 1.1.0, not 1.0.1. So I know we did like, after we did like the test stuff for Vine Realms, we released a few versions, and then like we had the final version, and then we did the second major update to it. So I got a little confused. It's okay. Since I'm actually here, this should have some of the changes applied to it. Oh, well, okay. First off, let's turn off, let's turn the jump off. It's actually easier, well, you're a third person, it's easier to see what you have turned on, so. Okay, so that, I have the jump. Let's see the top of that. Let's turn the jump off. Okay, good. Yeah, you know, with the update, there's actually a lot I wanted to do. Like add some stuff like back there and everything. Does this have the moving platform? This does not. I thought I had a moving platform there. It might actually be in the multiplayer. I don't know. Okay, here we go. This is the right version. Okay, as you can see, I actually had to... This is like the biggest change here. In order to... I couldn't completely fix... I tried to fix like the thing with the baking here. The light baking. But the only thing I could do is sort of fix like the seams. So it's not as pink. Well, unfortunately it's still pink behind the Papa Dude sign, unfortunately. But some of the other stuff is fixed here. I think next time if I ever make a building like this, I'm not gonna use like fucking, I think I'm just gonna freaking model it myself. I'm not gonna use like weird prefabs with weird texturing on it to help me with the light baking and not go through so much trouble. But with this update here, you can see that I actually covered up that spot, that like that big pink spot there with a bunch of like toxic waste barrels. Which this is like another object that I modeled that is originally made for the pizzeria, but it's been thrown in other areas too, because it's just like great to have toxic barrels wherever, really. Okay, I'm gonna get back to where I was here. Because there was like something up with the, when I was trying to move here. It was something up with the terrain here, and I think that's... Whatever it was is not happening anymore. So we're gonna go talk to our dead virtual pet, and, it's funny about this NPC because they felt like, I guess some people, I didn't think this would happen. So we had different people do lines for this NPC, and I did some too. That was more like jokey in a way, like a poem. But someone else, I forgot who it was, but someone else put some really sad lines for this the dead virtual pet in here, and like I guess people felt it seemed cut out of place for this zone, but I mean, not really, because there is some, like, a bit of, like, depression in a vaporwave thing, so it's, like, too out of place. So that's, that's the line that I wrote. It's a little more lighthearted in a way, kind of like joking about the whole dead thing. It's undead, it's accepted that. The rest of the lines are a little bit more depressing. I also want to note that the sound that it's making is the nep-nep sound that, which is a part of like a lot of the sounds that Desert made, Desert Pagoda, which that was the nep-nep sound was the default for a lot of the NPCs. They started out with just nep-nep, and it was, in a way, it was our way of telling which NPCs had voices assigned and which ones hadn't been assigned yet. But I felt like this voice was actually perfect for this particular NPC. I can't remember who wrote that. This might actually, I believe this those lines are a reference to something, but I completely forgot what it was supposed to be, so. Okay, so that's going through. Now I wanted to talk about the actual design for this thing. So it's a dead, it originally was inspired by the dead hamster, virtual pet from Hypnospace, but I also wanted to basically, so Izzy did the art for this, and I basically told her it could be a combination of like, I gave her references to Neopets, and then she combined it with like Digimon. Since Digimon is associated with the little Digimon started out as like a Tamagotchi type of thing. I should know because I used to be a Digimon fan. Still am in a way. But yeah, they started out as like little digital pets. It was kind of like a branch off of Tamagotchi. So it kind of worked for this as like an undead digital pet. And Neopets are also, I guess you could consider them digital because they were like an online thing. And so in terms of like streamer references though, this was actually, I guess in a way, something referencing Imakuni. So I have like other Imakuni. I tried to put like other Imakuni-ish references in here. I don't know her memes specifically, unfortunately, but I knew some of the stuff that she liked. So I knew that she liked Sonic. I knew that she liked like things like Neopets. I believe I'm pretty sure she likes Digimon and stuff like that. So I wanted to make that a reference, and then like it's also a reference to Hypnospace, which I think a lot of the streamers ended up playing. So I kind of wish, I'm sure there's a way they actually like reset progress, but I kind of wish I could show going through this game without having all the emotes unlocked, so you could see which emotes these NPCs give and like why they, I don't know, some of the choices for what emotes they give were random and some of them made sense, but I guess if you wanted to find that out, you would just play it yourself. Like I'm gonna put the link to the itch.io page in the description of this video, so if you haven't played it already, and you're like, you know, a Vinesauce in the Vinesauce community, then you can like, you know, try it out and see what emotes you get. They're emotes from the streamers and stuff. If you aren't in the Vinesauce community and you're watching this for whatever reason and you're just curious about this, I don't think you would get the references, but it is kind of like a weird, surreal thing that maybe you might get enjoyment out of checking out. Because there's like, I'm just showing this video, but there's like a ton of, I mean, this game has like a ton of areas that people worked on, and I'm just showing like just one of the areas that I worked on. So there's a lot to explore. That's probably why this video is so long, is there's a ton of stuff to cover in terms of like what we were thinking when we were developing the game, and like me specifically, like what I was thinking when I was trying to put this area together. So there's just so much to talk about. I'm trying to cover everything here. I'm gonna get the let's go. Yes, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to make the pizzeria, arcade, and the alien ship into another video, because that's gonna take a lot more time, I think. And you know, I'm already going on like 2 hours for this. I lost track of time. So we have the here's something, and I might be able to show, like when I get to the end of this, some more like pictures and stuff when I get to it, or maybe like in the third part when I go over the other devs areas, I can show like some concept stuff that we worked on and some of the sketches and things like that. But I'm just trying to focus on one area right now because it's a lot to go over. So this is the Happy Mask Salesman, and this is like something. This is like a really early concept. Like it was something I came with, and then like everyone like in the Discord and on the team that was a part of it sort of shaped it into what it is. Izzy came up, like I did a concept art for it. It was like an idea I came up with because I thought it'd be cool to have like a little like salesman inspired by like the well, he's called the Happy Emote Salesman. He's not the Happy Mask Salesman from the Zelda games, but that's what he's clearly inspired by. But this is the, let me show. And he appears in all the different areas of the game, and I believe he gets 2 emotes if I remember correctly. Let's see if I can find the old concept. I have so much here in this folder that I haven't showed yet. So hopefully I'm not missing anything. So I guess after the end of this, if I miss anything, I'll just show it here. Let's see, Happy Mask Salesman. Let's see if I can find that. Oh, before I do that, actually, with another thing that I actually didn't get to put in, but was an idea for the Vapor Zone, real quick, since I happened to see it. I actually, as another Sonic reference, I really early on, so I have the checker pattern. That was actually inspired by Sonic as well. But I kind of had this idea of wanting to do like the little bonus levels. I think this is from Sonic 3, one of it. I think this is from Sonic 3. I know a few of them have a bonus area like this, but I thought it'd be cool to actually have like little spheres here that the players could like run into, and it would like bounce them around and stuff, but I never got around to that. That's I don't know if we're ever gonna do an update to this game. It took a lot of time and effort, and you know, a lot of great people came together to put this game to get this game the way it is now. But it like kind of, I will admit, it kind of burned me out a bit, and I think right now a lot of people are just kind of taking a break from it, and so I don't know if we'll ever add anything else. Who knows? Maybe when we get the time. But this is like one of the things I kind of wish I could add, but it probably would involve some extra coding to get, like, you know, anything involving physics is actually going to take a little bit more effort, so. Okay, Happy Mask Salesman. Let's see if I can find the art here. Oh, here we go. This is like the really rough. So this is what I originally, let me see, to put it here. He actually ended up a lot taller. I guess his size is a little bit different. We didn't have like a really good size guy. We had to just go, in terms of like sizing the NPCs and stuff, we had to kind of go off of the size of the vine toads themselves, and each of the different like there's a few classes, like RPG themed classes that you can unlock like for the avatars for the vine toad, and each of those have a different height. Some of them really small, like even smaller than the basic vine toad, and the other ones are actually quite tall. And so I had to like, when it came to putting the NPC models in, I sort of had to base their size on the vine toad. But for the happy emote salesman, the idea was to make him kind of tall. Like, he was definitely like someone, the idea is like he was someone from another land. And this was the original concept that I drew for him. Average vine toad. Izzy basically took this and refined it, basically. So originally I had like, you know, he'd be wearing a little like gaudy jewelry, maybe like an emote necklace. Most of the ideas are still there in the final design. He had like a big coat. The head was changed, but I'm actually happy with what Izzy did with it, because if it was just this, like he would have looked too similar to the vine toad. So changing the shape of the mushroom made him seem more otherworldly in a way. And then he has this big bag here with the emotes would be on them instead of the masks, like the happy mask salesman. So big coat, seems like he's from another land. Originally, with the original design, I originally had him being like sort of plump, because I wanted to differentiate him from how like skinny the happy mask salesman did. But he ended up being like kind of more gaunt, but that's fine. He actually it makes him look more mysterious in a way. He's very like tall and gaunt and sort of alien, like a very alien looking like shroom person in a way. Don't think I had, let's see, do I have any other, I'm trying to think if I have anything else associated with him. Let's see here. No, I think that's it for now. Izzy would actually have the art for the different coloring on her Twitter. I believe in the attributions text that we have, we might have some, I don't know if we have the Twitters for each of the people, but you can probably like kind of look up their name and be able to find their Twitter and stuff where because a lot of people on Twitter, they actually posted like a lot of the art that they worked on for this game as well. There were like big threads, or if you search hashtag Vine Realms, you'll actually see a lot of the stuff that people posted for it, especially the devs. So we'll talk to him. So, this is actually, this is actually a Persona reference, because I have played Persona. I am a Persona fan. I thought it would fit with this character. I know Vinny, I know that's like sort of, been a meme with Vinny, and he's been kind of staying away from the Persona stuff. Same with like Undertale and everything like that. Which there are a few like Sans references in like OC and stuff. But the thing is like the other streamers have played games like this. Like I think Direbor, I'm pretty sure Direbor's a Persona fan. Like I've seen him working on Persona 5 stuff, and I think maybe I know Imakuni. I think Imakuni is familiar with like Shin Megami Tensei, which is what Persona branched off of. Pretty sure a lot of the other streamers are familiar with it, except for I don't think Joel has played Persona, but they're definitely familiar with Shin Megami Tensei. It's another video game reference that a lot of people would be familiar with, especially the community. So I thought I would throw it in. It fit with that character. All right, we're gonna go to the back. I think, actually, there should be a cool toad that's wandering around here. I'm wondering. Okay, there he is. I need to actually talk to him. I believe Izzy wrote the lines for this cool toad. Now, with the Cool Toad, or let's see, does he have, I think he was originally named Glitch Toad. And there is an art for him, which I don't have, where he actually looks more glitchy. And I think originally we're, like Neri had it might have been a shader or something that makes objects look glitchy, but we never really got around to applying that. So let's talk to him. So he makes a reference to the arcade. That's also more desert with the sounds. Oh yeah, it's funny, you know, with both this game, there's a lot of ironic shit, related to, like, the development of this game that we didn't even know would happen. So, this game, the planning, I'm gonna talk about this because of what he said, some lines that he said. So, first off, that L is real thing, is a reference to a thing relating to, I guess, rumors, that, Luigi was originally supposed to be in Mario 64. I hope I have my information correct regarding that. I guess it was a rumor for a while. Some people were sure it was actually true, but there wasn't any, like, concrete evidence, so it was just like a meme. L is real was a meme for a while. And then, the leaks, I think it was like the first big Nintendo leak that happened this year, where a bunch of, like, N64 stuff got leaked, and then it was, like, proven that Luigi was actually going to be in Mario 64, and I guess, I forgot what it was, but they ended up cutting him for, it might have been size reasons? I can't remember what it was specifically, but the thing is that leak happened, like, it was definitely after this game was released, or right about when it was going to be released, but that line was written way before we knew that was gonna happen. Another thing with this game in general is that, so in the planning process, like, before I was even pulled in, it was decided the style was gonna be, at least for the NPCs and stuff, it was gonna be Paper Mario. And I think a few months after that, while we're into development, while we already had, like, the characters and stuff planned out, and a lot of stuff put into this game, like certain levels and things like that, Origami King got announced, and then we kind of got worried a little bit. But it was just kind of funny, because we had, like, we wasn't sure. I mean, this is different enough. It's completely different from what Origami King is. This is, like, a totally different thing, but it's just kind of funny because, Origami King is like this, you know, Paper Mario-esque, game, but it is, like, more 3D compared to the previous games. It's like, you know, you have origami and Paper Mario type stuff in a, more like a fully 3D world. And, you know, we had this thing. It was just kind of funny that, we were working on this when that got announced. Let's see, I can't remember if he had one more line. Yo, I don't feel so good. That last line where he says, yo, I don't feel so good, it probably doesn't make sense, but it would have if the, glitch effect that was originally intended for this Vine Shroom was applied, but, that's something for, I don't know if that's something that will ever get added, maybe, like, if we ever do an update, whenever that happens, but, yeah, it's fine. It works. I mean, things, when it comes to this area, it's supposed to be nonsensical anyways. Oh yeah, that reminds me, let me look. The water should be fixed by now, since this is the update. Okay, so yeah, this is the way it's supposed to look. It's not supposed to be so fast. I just noticed the shadow for that is all wavily. That's really cool. Oh yeah, the, if you notice too, the lighting seems a bit better compared to the previous version. Like, it's a lot brighter. And then I also added a bit more fog, so that's why everything kind of looks a little bit slightly pink and foggier. Let's see if we can cover some more stuff here. There's actually there's some release notes for this as well that I could go over. But yeah, I basically fixed some of the dialogue in this specific area. Like I put this in to cover the boo-boo spot. I fixed the katakana on this. And I changed some of the dialogue. Specifically, like I mentioned before, I changed the dialogue on the hint toad. I can't even remember what I put in for the new one here.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that makes the hint a little more obvious. I haven't actually checked any like because there's actually like a little channel in the Vinesauce Discord for this game specifically. I haven't actually checked since this update was released to see if anyone had an easier time finding the hint. The shortcut or not after this. So there's still some more stuff in the back of this map that I'll go over, and then that should be it for now. I'll look through my like a folder of images to see if there's anything else I want to cover. And then everything else will have to be like part 2 and part 3, because there's like so much to go over. I can't actually get up here. Well, no, I can just jump. Of course I can jump. This is like a reference to, this is both a reference to Corruptions and also, the help computer, which is like, it says, "Hello child, I am computer, please refrain from downloading." It's a reference to the, G.I. Joe PSAs that are like really old, well-known memes, and Vinny has a tendency to reference them every now and then. It's like, I know it's like it's so fucking old, but some of the most ancient memes I have a fondness for, and I still put them in the Vinesauce fan games or mods whenever I do them, especially like that G.I. Joe stuff. I just can't get away from it. I love it too much. I guess in a way, things like the the G.I. Joe PSAs kind of call back to the days of YouTube, like kind of like the YouTube poop days of YouTube, which I really miss when, you know, I don't know. I don't want to go into it, but yeah, them's were the days. So we got I know there's a lot of weird stuff back here. So we got a mention. I knew someone was asking about egg-like references, and I did actually put one in here. So now, Vinny is the one, I believe, is the one that actually came up with the term egg-like while he was playing some strange, I think it was the Fantastic game, but not entirely sure. There's like, what is it? There's 2 egg-like games that are like that. I'm probably confusing the names, but I think it was the Fantastic game or something before that where you would, you may have been collecting eggs. We just came up with a term. It's basically now used to refer to games much like this, where you're sort of just like, wandering around, especially in like a weird world with strange characters, and you're finding like little collectibles, talk to NPCs and stuff with no like, I mean, there's no like clear purpose. You just kind of like have the freedom to go wherever you want and explore shit, and like maybe you'll find some random shit to collect on your way. But yeah, it's usually a term for a lot of like obscure like indie games or explorable stuff that people have made. I wonder if I can actually jump. Did I make this easy to jump on? Yeah, I did add okay, good. I actually added collision to this so people could jump on it. I think I actually added collision to so You might have seen something flying along here. This is another reference, which, hopefully I can see it while I'm standing atop this, depressed sponge head. So, I don't know if that was specifically a Vinesauce meme, but it's, Luigi... Now, Luigi T-posed is its own meme in itself, and I don't know where it came from. So this is like 2 memes combined that I did. That's like a model that I also created in Milkshape. I'll show you what it actually looks like because it's hard to see it from here. Like, if you didn't look at it, spend enough time looking at it, it might look like I ripped a, Luigi model, which I did not know. I'm trying to avoid that for copyright reasons, obviously. But, so it's Luigi T-posed. It's not actually Luigi, it's a bootleg, Mario brother, on an egg. I think Venny started the whole Luigi flying, on an egg flying over the ocean, maybe. I know he played a game based on that, but that game may have been based on a meme that already existed. So, I'm not entirely sure. But let me go into my... Well, let me just put it here so you can just see, not Luigi flying over the ocean repeatedly. I should have a picture of what it actually looks like when you see it up close. Let's see here. There we go. It also shows the way the details of the sponge faces too. That's my incredibly low poly, bootleg, not Luigi. I think I called him Louie or something. I mean, it's just like a shitty looking, Mario brother that I did for that. It's funny though, because I think, in my process of trying to show a low poly, Luigi or differences, I guess because I was playing around with, Milkshape has a DirectX tool that reduces the polys of models, and I mean, I used Luigi's model kind of as a reference for the bootleg brother, but if you take like, let me show you something here. Just, this is something I was fucking around with while I was making the game, but you see this like Luigi model here. If you reduce the polys in Milkshape using the DirectX tool, he becomes this like, unfortunately, you don't have the textures enabled. He becomes like shitty looking Luigi, which is what I kind of based the bootleg one off of in a way. And it is a sort of a meme in a way, the low poly Luigi, which I didn't even know was a meme until recently. So just wanted to show that. Kind of a terrifying looking model too when it's in low poly. Let's see what else I have here. I think I have more Joel memes to show. Yep, this is the other 2D movie maker, not 3D. And I think I changed here. I might be able to have the might actually have the actual picture that I worked on for this. Let's see, what can I show here? Might be able to show some of the other stuff on my way. Let's see, where is 2D? Ah, here we go. So that's what actually, it got a little bit blue. I was originally, thing is I think I was trying to change the colors from what the one guy in 3D Movie Maker looked like, because I think he's actually blue. And so I made him purple with the more like wearing more red stuff to kind of, just for legal reasons. It's not like it matters too much, but because it's such an old game. But yeah, I wanted to just make it as like a parody of 3D Movie Maker, because I know Joel's done a lot of 3D Movie Maker stuff. I think that's all I can cover for now, and then I'll do Pizzeria and Arcade. Because I'm starting to run out of steam, so I need to take a break, get some energy, and then I can come back and start covering the other stuff. But yeah, Vapor Zone. Oh, I want to mention also the, like I said, for a lot of the background music on this game is done by Bassclef. And with the music for this, I think I originally was planning to do music for this area, but I just couldn't. I struggled so much. Like, I had some old music that I did that I was trying to like edit, and it just didn't work for like the style of game that this is, where you're like exploring for a while. I just didn't have anything that like looped really well. So what Bassclef did is he made like a, I think he made like a short loop or something, and then like used Hall Stretch on it to make it sound like the way it is now. And then I think the only thing I did was like some slight editing. I might have added some like reverb to it or something, but he did he did like primarily all of the work for it. And it works for this area. So that is it for now for the Vaporwave stuff. And then I'm gonna look through my folder real quick and see if there's anything else I can talk about. But otherwise, I will do Pizzeria, which is like the second area I started working on, and then Pizzeria and Arcade, which took a lot of time to do, and then the Alien Ship, which is like the area that I made last, but it actually like came together super quick compared to all the other stuff, because by that point I knew what I was doing. So let's see what if I have anything else I can show here. I've got some I've got images for like other areas. Oh yeah, I might as well show this since I have it, but I don't know why this is named Pizza. That's strange. But for those of you who played this and might, you know, there's a certain area that you need to go to get like the final emote for this game, and originally there was this area that Neri made just in case like somebody broke the game and fell through the map or something, or got out of bounds where they weren't supposed to, and then they fell off the map somehow. This is like the area that Neri had originally put for that specific purpose. And then it would basically, when you touch this wall, it would take you back to the crossroads. It was there when we were doing testing, and then it became its own idea. It became like, oh, well, because like we wanted to have, in some ways, we wanted to have like sort of a dev, an area that shows off a lot of the dev stuff that people did, like concept art and early images and stuff. And then we had this like little area here that people would fall into just in case they like got out of bounds, and then we made it an actual thing in the game, like an actual thing that people had to do, intentionally break the game in order to get to the fourth emote. It was really like a cool idea that I don't know a lot of games have done. I don't really know, but I think it's something that more games should do, like making the player intentionally try to break out of bounds, because they will anyways. You know, that's something, if you give the tools for a player to jump really high or go really fast, they will find a way to break the game or glitch through it or something, and I just thought that was really neat. I wanted to, like, mention that since I saw it. And then I have... just looking here to see if there's anything else. Here's, like, Centipede Chan, by the way. Here's the art for her, which is, like, uncorrupted. I don't know why. I actually made it, her colors actually kind of look like, what's her name from, I can't remember. It's by the same people who did, like, Fully Cooley. But, she looks like a certain anime character. The coloring for it anyways. Do I have anything else here? That might be it. Oh, yeah. Just some references here before I go into, actually, I should probably show that for Pizzeria, but, let's see. Oh, yeah. I've got some, really early images before I go off here. As I see them now, we're actually, before I even made Vaporwave area, I had, some tests I was doing for both the model placements, just for sizing purposes, or to see how they would export into, like from Milkshape to Unity. I was doing a lot of like test stuff on this like test map that we had. I think it was like the test map that Neri made for us to start placing stuff and play around, but what we did, we were trying to figure out the grass for the game. And so I had like a bunch of like test textures for grass. Eventually I think, just because of the different areas, we didn't have like a specific grass texture we used, except for like, what was in the hub area, which I think is a texture that Sphinx might have had in a prefab pack that he used. I'm not entirely sure. So we're like trying to test out, grass, and I was trying to test out some of the models I made. Like, the mortise thing is in the, forest area, and then I had like the pizza model. The pizza model might have been like the first thing I made even before buying Ryzen, so that was like super early. What's the other ones? Yeah, just different like Scootlake was made some grass textures for us to test, so that's what I was trying to do, and eventually we just like did things based on the zone. We didn't have like a specific grass texture we settled on. And I think, let's see, any more stuff here. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's it. I will have to cover everything else in the next video, and there's still a ton, like there's so much. I can actually understand why some of the other people did not make videos for their own work, because this is, it would have been way too much work to go over it. I haven't even done, even when I do, if I decide to do the dev timeline video and do like a proper, like where it's, I have everything properly like written out, by like kind of like by month, or what I did very first until I got into like the Unity stuff, and then how we ended it, it's gonna take a lot of work. That's why I'm just settling on doing this for now, like going through it, kind of playing a little bit, talking about things as I see them or come across them. So I believe that should be it for the Vapor Zone. Keep an eye out for a part 2 when I go over the Duke's Pizzeria, the arcade, and then the alien ship, and then I may do part 3 just for talking about some of the other areas very lightly, just going over stuff in them. So if you happen to tune in to this video, thank you for your interest in like Vine Realms, and if you played it, thank you for your support. There's like I said, a lot of wonderful people came together to make this game in like a very short amount of time, honestly. And like I said, stay tuned for more stuff when I get around to covering it.